Articulation of upper and lower stone models into a Whipmix articulator. First we need to create indicators so that in case the cast comes off the articulation, we can place it back into the original position. It is a good idea to add additional indicators on the underside of each cast, just as a safety measure in case the original indicators are damaged. Before we attach the upper and the lower cast to each other, we have to make sure that the occlusion is clean and that no bubbles will interfere. And then we will use wax to join the upper and lower cast for articulation. We simply add wax in between the upper and lower teeth while holding the bite firmly together so that we do not have any discrepancies. Be sure that your models are firmly connected to each other and that there is no movement. You will need your mounting plate and metal discs, your plaster knife, beaver spatula and rubber bowl, and of course your articulator. Set your pin to 0 and begin by mixing your plaster to the consistency of yogurt. Place your mounting plate to the bottom of the articulator and add some plaster. You will also need to add plaster to the underside of your cast, especially in the indicator divots, so that you have a good contact between cast and plaster in case you have to reattach the cast at a later point. Then place your upper and lower cast centered over the mounting plate on the articulator and use your beaver spatula to fill in voids. And because plaster can set up quite quickly, I recommend that you get the shape of your articulation as close as possible to what the finished product is supposed to look like. You use the time for the plaster to set to clean your bowl and your spatula, and after a few minutes your plaster will be ready to be carved. To finish off your bottom part of the articulation, use some wet sandpaper and under running water smoothen all the edges and the junction between plaster and stone. Next, you're going to place your mounting plate on the upper portion of your articulator you ensure that there is no debris on the underside of your lower mounting plate, otherwise you may not have proper contact to the articulator. You want to check that you have adequate space between the mounting plate and the upper cast. Then mix your plaster to the consistency of yogurt, and do not overmix because plaster will set very quickly and you want to have enough time to create a nice articulation. When you have enough plaster on your upper model, simply close the articulator. Create a good solid contact between the center pin and the contact plate at the bottom part of the articulator. And to make sure that your articulator will keep its position during the setting of the plaster, place the blue elastic that comes with the articulator around the top and bottom aspect of your articulator. And then, same as before, use your spatula to fill voids, especially in the back part of your articulation, and leave your plaster to set while you clean your bowl and your tools. As the plaster hardens, you can use your plaster knife to do some more removal of excess material. And when the plaster has hardened enough, you can remove both casts from the articulator for final detailing. And to give it the final professional look, use your wet sanding paper under the running water and smooth over any edges and junctions between plaster and stone. The final step of articulation is to remove the wax from the cast with boiling water and make sure that everything looks clean and neat. A clean articulator and clean models will always give your articulation a professional appearance and ensure accuracy, since you do not have any debris causing any kind of inaccuracies.